It's Wednesday the 19th of August 2015 and I'm back at Coggeshall Church to do a further walk along the Essex Way. Now on the Essex Way, heading along the first footpath of today's walk. This leads to the bypass main road. And there's the usual confirmation that we're on the Essex Way. The walk goes down there. I've now got to cross the Coggeshall bypass main road. The path is over there where that sign is. I've escaped the main road onto this pleasant hedgeside path. Still heading along the hedgeside path. And there's an Essex vista over to my right. The Essex Way crosses to the other side of the hedge over this footbridge over a ditch. Now walking along the path with the hedge and ditch on my right hand side. The path comes to this small road, which is crossed. Now walking along this track with a bank to my left. On the bank there are lakes. Confirmation that we're on the Essex Way, and now the path goes along beside the hedge on the left. Now heading towards the hamlet of East Gores on the Essex Way. The walk comes to this small road where we turn right. The Essex Way turns left off the road along this path. Now heading along the left-hand edge of this field. Good view over to my right. Now heading along this path with the Tey Brook on the left. Tey is T-E-Y. After crossing two footbridges, the Essex Way continues on along the other side of the Tey Brook. Now heading along the path beside this wood towards the village of Great Tey. Still heading along the edge of the wood. Approaching Great Tey along the Essex Way. The Essex Way passes St Barnabas Church, Great Tey. The walk comes to the Checkers pub, Great Tey. And there's another view of the church, Great Tey. After a trudge along the road in Great Tey, the Essex Way turns right along this footpath. The walk becomes a lot more pleasant along the side of this field. At the end of the field in the previous clip, the Essex Way turns left to go along the edge of this field. The Essex Way joins the green lane known as Pattock's Lane. Now heading along the edge of this field with views opening up ahead over the Colne Valley. Now crossing the Sudbury to Marks Tey branch railway. Now heading along the path beside this hedge with great views across the Colne Valley ahead. Now at the River Colne, we have to walk along the overgrown bank of it. there. Heading for Fordstreet alongside the River Colne, and great views over to my right. There's the River Colne, a little bit clearer, and there's the Essex Way ahead. Beautiful trees planted between the path and the river. Right back by the river now, and that's the way ahead of the Essex Way. The river has become very wide, and there's the path ahead. Now crossing Fordstreet Bridge. After Fordstreet Bridge, the Essex Way continues along the north bank of the Colne. The path bends away from the river for a while. Good views over to my left. Heading away from Fordstreet along the Essex Way. Good views ahead. The Essex Way now crosses directly over this road. Further along the path, a decent view opens up ahead. This is still the Colne Valley. Heading along the Colne Valley along the Essex Way. After an enclosed section, the Essex Way opens out into these meadows. Good views to the right, and that's the path ahead. More open meadows by the River Colne. At this derelict brick barn, the Essex Way bears away from the Colne. At that brick barn in the previous clip, the Essex Way bears left along this lane, leaving the River Colne. We're heading towards West Bergholt now. The lane climbs out of the Colne Valley. Heading across the fields to West Bergholt on the Essex Way. And here's a view of the church at West Bergholt. Now on the final path before West Bergholt village proper. Now at the bus stop in West Bergholt, and the end of today's 9.5 odd mile walk along the Essex Way.